Today I'm going to talk about push-ups and pushing exercises in general, why they're so important for pole dancers, and I'm going to give you some pushing exercises that you can do in your training, as well as some modifications to make them super pole specific. So why are pushing exercises so important for pole dancers? Well, two reasons. First one, muscle balancing. We should be striving for a balance between the amount of pushing and pulling we do in our workouts. That includes horizontal pushing and pulling and also vertical pushing and pulling. And in pole, we tend to do quite a lot of pulling exercises, especially when we're working at a beginner to intermediate level. Any spins that we do on the pole is a vertical pull. Any climbing that we're doing vertical pulling there, as well as inverts, you're pulling down for your inverts. So it's really important to balance all of that pulling that we're doing on the pole with some pushing exercises too. Reason two, although we do quite a lot of pulling on the pole, we do also need to be strong at pushing for pole, especially when we get to an intermediate level and we start getting further up the pole, and especially when you start doing hands-only moves. I'll show you an example of what I mean. So with a split grip, you're going to be pulling with one hand and pushing with the other. So my top hand, if I'm the right way around, is going to be pulling, whilst my bottom arm is pushing against the pole to keep me in place. When you're upside down, it's the opposite way around. So you're either pushing below or above the head in a split grip, depending whether you're right way around or upside down. As an online strength coach specialising in coaching pole dancers, I have noticed a lot that people come to me with really good pulling strength, pole dancers who might have been doing pole for a few years even, so they've built up that really good, awesome pulling power, but they still can't do a full press up on their toes, or they can do a couple but they can't do a full set, or they just can't do it with the right technique. And I think that's because as a beginner pole dancer, you go through all these progressions of learning to spin, learning to climb, learning to invert, and you're building up your pulling strength all the time. It's only once you get up the pole and start doing intermediate moves, especially once you get upside down and start doing things like extended butterflies and inverted Ds and Aishas where you're just holding with your hands, your pushing strength is going to let you down. Yeah, you've got really good pulling strength, but unless you're working on your pushing strength too, then when you start to do those more advanced moves, you're going to have a big gap in your ability.